with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I'm leaving today. We're just getting ready, just wrapping up the last couple of things before we jump on the flight to Spain. So I'm going to just jump straight into this week's Ask Boyle. If you have a question you would like answered by one of the greatest minds of the generation, demographer, comedian, crane operator, waterproofer, whatever you want, let Boyle, then head to my website, boylecomedy.com. Section there for Ask Boyles. Also, fucked up Fridays. Get them in. I don't want to have to fucking worry about fucked up Fridays while I'm in Spain. So get them in. There's a tab there for all the shit. Work it out. Anyway, we've got the perfect Ask Boyle today. There was another good one, but I chose this one because this seems to be on people's minds. And it fits in nicely with the trip to Spain. So here it is, this week's Ask Boyle from Anonymous. Your missus seems like the major breadwinner in the relationship. No offense. And given your lifestyle, moving about to different countries, you're not working full time again, but then you have lots of Bitcoin investments that pay, etc. How do you guys split it all / communicate about it? My missus makes more than me and she's resentful about footing more of the lifestyle. So wondering how I smooth it all out to keep living the Boyle dream. Wow. Mr. fucking penny picker, you have come to the right place. I tell you what I've been shocked about, how fucking salty cunts get when you're not working. I get it in the comments section. I get it fucking in personal messages. I get it from fucking friends and family. It's like, shut the fuck up, you cunts. You all have a very fucking short memory, don't you? I'll just take you back. Just go back any time in the last fucking 365 days and you'll be listening to me suicidal in the tunnels, working 80-hour weeks, doing construction. That's the only way people want you to be. They want you to be suicidal, working yourself to death. That's how people want you to be. If you're doing anything other than that, people are like, oh, you fucking bludger, this and that. Oh, my God. So I just want to rewind you back to that period where I was earning a shitload of money. The tunnels were very fucking lucrative. Put on top of that, we weren't paying that much rent because we were living in a shit box with no air conditioning. And then I just want to take you back a little bit further. Let's go like 4 or 5, no, I think it was like 5 years or 6 years back when I was like, you've got to buy this company called MicroStrategy, MSTR. They're going to be huge. It's going to go through the roof. You've got to buy it. This is after Bitcoin. This is after I said buy Bitcoin at $20,000. So I'm like, MSTR, you've got to buy it. There was a stock split, 100-to-1 stock split. So the numbers are a little bit different. But when I told people to buy it, it was $12. And its all-time high was $530. That's 3,000%. Then directly after that, I was like, you've got to buy this company. Iron, you've got to buy it. It was at like $3 or $4 or something when I first started saying that. You've got to buy Iron. They're going to be huge. They're going to be an AI company. They're a Bitcoin miner, blah, blah, blah. That was like 3.5, 4 years ago. $4, $3, $6, $7. I was like, buy it at $14. It doesn't matter. It's going to be huge. From when I started saying buying it, which was like $4.50, to its all-time high at $70, that's almost 2,000%. It's like 1,700%. And then I was like, you've got to buy this company called Cypher. Cypher this, Cypher that. Not as much as Iron, but I was like, Cypher. You got to do it. I started saying buy that at, I think it was like $2. And then at one stage it was like $1.75 or $1.50 That reached like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. That was $27. Again, they're the only 4 bets I've made. And then I've made like little bets that have been meaningless, but I put everything into those 4 bets. Bitcoin, MicroStrategy, Iron, and Cypher. 4 bets, and all of them went fucking insane. And if you don't remember why I started working in the tunnels, it's because I leveraged myself up with money and borrowed money and credit cards to buy all this shit, and the payments became too overwhelming per month. So I needed to get a job to pay for it. And so I got it, and then the money in the fucking tunnels was too fucking good to leave, and we had long-term plans to get the fuck out of Australia. So I just kept on working, and then I kept on investing, more or less those 4 companies, and then, and then eventually I was suicidal, and my missus got this job, and we had a bunch of money saved. Like, I don't understand how people think I would be getting away with, like, if there was no money in my investment accounts and I hadn't made all those bets, I can tell you right now, I would be working. I would be landscaping or something. But I've managed to become somewhat a relatively savvy investor now, and I've managed to get a little bit of fucking wiggle room. So it's not like there's zero contribution. Do you know what I mean? And plus, me and the missus have worked everything out anyway. I take care of the future. She takes care of the present. And I've said to her a million times, I'm like, if you want to quit work, just quit work. If you want to open a restaurant, we'll just chuck all the money into the restaurant. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a flying fuck what we do. Could we live in Boston without her work? Well, the visa would end. We would get kicked out of the country if she stopped working. But if she didn't want to work this job, we could just do something else, move somewhere else, the original plan was we were going to move to Spain, and both of us were going to go on, what was the visa again? There's a visa you can go where if you've got a certain amount of money in the bank, you can stay there for a year and not work. But you get a year visa, and then after that, you can fucking become a student or something. So we were both going to go to Spain and learn Spanish or something. That was the original plan. And then she started applying for jobs just to see if anything was available, and stumbled across a job in Spain. And then that sort of fell through. And I said, why don't you ask about a job in the US? Because they liked her. It was just that the Spain job fell through. So she reached out and they had a position in the US, and that's how we're here. But Jesus Christ, one of the listeners was like, Americans will hate you if you're not working. And it's fucking true. Jesus Christ, you've been so indoctrinated. Just let me live my life, all right? No, but onto your situation. You have to contribute in some way. You might not be able to earn as much, but you need to figure something out. You need to... Actually, you don't need to do anything really. If she's fine with it, but you're saying she's not. Yeah, well, she's going to continue resenting you until you figure something out then. That's not a good situation to be in. You do need to figure out a way to at least show some numbers. Like, look at this. I know it looks like I'm not doing anything, but there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. See this number? Have a look, okay? If I was working... If I was working, that number would be a hell of a lot less. Because I wouldn't have been able to spend time on Twitter, figuring things out, YouTubing, you know what I mean. There's a lot of effort being put into this number. I don't know what it would have been like if I didn't make those bets. I don't think it would be very smooth, that's for sure. I don't think things would be cruising along. That's for fucking sure. But you got to understand, my wife is a little bit fucking nuts as well. You got to understand that I went to my wife and I said, I'm buying Bitcoin and we're using every cent we have. Like I'm clearing everything out. Everything, everything, retirement, everything's going into it. And she didn't even bat an eyelid. She's like, okay, are you sure? I'm like, yes, I'm sure. So you've got to be a little bit nuts to accept that from someone as nuts as I am. But occasionally, let's not fucking beat around the bush here. If we get into a fight, she has some ammo against me. She's like, you're not fucking working. I'm like, look at this. I always go back to the investment account. I'm like, look. And then I bring up the Bitcoin. This is what I would do. I would take whatever money you've got now. Bitcoin's at like 62,000. There's potentially a downside of like maybe it would get to 45, 50, something like that. So there's not that much volatility on the downside left. I would take whatever you've got, dump it into Bitcoin, sit for 12 months, and then come back to your missus with the balance. Just have it on your phone all the time. Just go look at that. What? Lifestyle? You're worried about our lifestyle? How about you shut the fuck up and look at this, baby? Let's go party. Another thing that has given us flexibility, that's what we've always wanted. I'm like, what kind of life do we want? We want to be flexible. So if you want to be flexible, you can't have a property. You can't buy a house. So that went out the window. And I've had to fight for that like crazy. For a decade, over a decade, I've had to say we're not buying a fucking house. We're not doing it. We're not fucking getting ourselves into debt. And that has allowed us to remain very flexible. So we've been able to live and travel and do whatever. So I've got $5,000 worth of, I've got $5,000 on the credit card left, and I have a car loan. That's it. The car loan we took out here to build our credit score. We didn't even need to take out the car loan. The only reason we got it was to build our credit score. So it's zero. And yeah, I'll tell you another thing. The only time our relationship ever comes under strain is when I'm working. That's the only time. That's the only time. So I'm like, oi, it's just better I don't work. It's better for all of us. I'll do all the kid shit. I'll take care of our future. You take care of our present. It's just not worth me working. I don't know if you're going to be able to sell that to your missus, but you've got to sell a lifestyle. You've got to be able to sell a lifestyle. You go, we're not buying a house. Fuck that. We're not getting into debt. Fuck that. What kind of life do we want to live? Are we going to have kids? Do we still want to be flexible? What's going on? You need to work out what type of lifestyle you're going to be happy with and then just work around that. It doesn't even sound like you're not working. It just sounds like you're not earning as much as her, which is nuts. What is she complaining about? You're out there. You're giving it a fucking crack. You don't have the earning potential she has. I call it the wage gap, the earnings gap. People only talk about the earnings gap in one way. The high-achieving fucking men compared to the high-achieving women. What about the low-achieving men and the high-achieving women? There's a gap there. I can tell you that right now. What if you just want to mow lawns and chill? What if you don't even want to fucking mow lawns? What if you just want to chill? So I would just speak to your missus. You've got to speak to her. Just go, oi, I don't need to live this fancy lifestyle. Let's pull it back a bit. I'm going to take a little time off work. If you want to stay on the Boyle train, jump aboard. But fucking the train's leaving the station. That's what I would say. But the biggest thing is you need to sit down and have a chat. I have like almost zero expenses except my Whoop and my protein powder. Like I don't drink. I don't really do anything. I'm just there. I'm just there trying to get some free time. That's all I'm trying to do. Anyway, I don't know if that helped you at all, but I just wanted to clear that up with the salty cunts out there telling me to get a fucking job. How about you work a little bit harder? How about you take your 75 hours and fucking add another 20 on? Then I'll respect you. Fucking cunts tell me to get a job. Now, I'm about to go to Spain and I'm about to go to Ireland and then I'm going to spend a month in India. I hope you're listening to this at work. I know a lot of you aren't salty. I know a lot of you are like, go Boyle. I don't know how you're getting away with any of this, but fucking go for it. But there are some salty cunts out there who are like, get a job. Fuck you. How does that sound? That goes to friends and family too. Fuck you. Anyway, fucking, I better get on board. That'll do it for tonight. The next time you hear from me, I will be in España, watching the semi-finals. So that'll do it from Boston for now. And I'll see you the fuck later.